Here's what you not gonna do. Here's what you not gonna do. Not around me. Tighten up when I come through. Tighten up when I come through. I come through. Here's what you not gonna do. 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 Tighten up when I come. 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 Here's what you not gonna do. 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 Tighten up when I come. Tighten up when I come. Tighten up when I come.
Tea in the shade. Hello, it's your favorite blogger's favorite blogger, Miss Tea in the Shade. Hey, how's everyone? You guys know I don't really do videos that often, but I just wanted to start doing a lot more of, giving you guys a little bit more of myself and my opinions and that kind of thing. So I'll jump into why I did this video. So I was perusing Instagram and there was a post that I saw and it listed certain rappers, Meg, Cardi, Future, City Girls, Young Thug, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'll post it. I'm paraphrasing, but it said something along the lines of, these people are not a part of Black culture, and if you're listening to these people and their ideologies, then, it was just, along those lines. And I just wanted to say that is not true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of Meg or Cardi or City Girls. I don't listen to any of that type of, I'm not going to say that. Well, I just don't listen to that brand of music. But they're definitely a part of Black culture. I mean, they're Black artists and they're a part of Black culture. I mean, whether, I'm not a City Girls fan, but whether I want to admit it or not, the City Girls transformed a culture. I mean, they, completely are, they coined the phrase period. I mean, Cardi B has, put her stamp and her footprint on Black culture, as well as Meg and Future and Young Thug. So saying they're not a part of Black culture, that's not at all true. They are definitely a large part of Black culture. Now, they may not be a part of what you call conscious Black culture, and that's fair enough. But at the same time, I've always been one of these people to blame what I call the gatekeepers, the Charlemagnes and the Ebros and the academics, because the reason we don't know about more conscious artists is because they don't give us more conscious artists. I mean, we see the same people on their shows. We see Meg, we see Cardi, we see, any one of the young ladies that wear the doll moniker. I mean, this is who we see. This is who's being pushed in front of us. But like I said, I blame them, a little bit, but we have to take responsibility as well, because we have artists out here that are very conscious artists, extraordinary artists, and no one is taking the time to listen to them. And so you have to take some personal responsibility when it comes to music. You can't just leave it up to the responsibility of, blogs like Say Cheese or people like, Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club or Big Boy in the Neighborhood or any other, blog and or like publication that specializes in hip hop, Complex, because they're not going to they're going to give you what's popular. They're going to give you top 40. They're going to give you, what people have deemed as popular. But you hold a personal responsibility to go out there yourself and look for conscious hip hop that you don't feel like is toxic to our community as Blacks. And we have a ton of those artists, but you don't hear about those artists. No one's listening to Quelly Chris. No one's listening to Jean Grey. Rhapsody put out a phenomenal project. No one's listening to it. Lupe Fiasco put out a album called Drogas Wave. It was one of the best written projects that I have heard in a long time. It was just very well done. It was about, there's tracks on there that made you cry, and it's a hip hop album. You got the rapper No Name, who's been in the spotlight a lot lately due to her, back and forth she had with J. Cole. But before she had this back and forth with J. Cole, no one knew who this woman was. And this woman has put out phenomenal tapes. Her album Room 25 was probably my favorite album that year. So we have to hold some responsibility. We can't just blame Future and the City Girls and Cardi B and Meg The Stallion for making the music that they make. They make the music that they make because that's what their fans want. I mean, if you know what I mean? Like you got like Chica, for instance. Chica was on the BET Awards Cypher, I want to say maybe 3 years ago. No one was listening to her. Now she's on the freshman list. She's a conscious hip hop rapper. So we have to hold some responsibility. And like I said, Meg and Cardi, they make the music that their fans want to listen to. So I mean, we can't blame them for the type of music. Now, don't get me wrong. To me, I find it very toxic. I don't listen to it. I don't care to listen to it because it doesn't give me anything. I'm one of these people that have to be fed by my music. Like Lupe Fiasco, he is like the GOAT of double entendres. He makes you think. I mean, he'll give you a bar and it'll have 4 different meanings. And that's the kind of music that I like listening to. No Name, her album Room 25 is a brilliant piece of art. She's a conscious rapper, and she just, she's really, really dope to me. And my husband is a fan of Jean Grey, Quelly Chris. I didn't get into them as much as I would have hoped, but very dope artists. You got Rhapsody that put out a dope project. I mean, Rhapsody had Queen Latifah on her album, and nobody was talking about it. So you got the rapper that came out recently that goes by the name of Blue, that put out an entire project dedicated to Miles Davis. I haven't heard any buzz. I haven't heard anyone talking about it. So we have to hold some responsibility to ourselves for not going out and making this music popular. I mean, WAP came out and everybody posted it. It was on every blog. It was on every channel. It was on every page. It was everywhere. And, there's other artists that are doing conscious stuff. Like Lupe Fiasco put out a song. He put out a whole album about a week before WAP came out, maybe 2 weeks. He has a song called Shoes that's dedicated to Ahmaud Arbery, who was shot by the white supremacists as he was jogging down the street. Lupe Fiasco put out a whole track dedicated to him. I didn't hear any buzz. No one was talking about it. No one was sharing it. No one was posting it. So we have to hold ourselves accountable for why this music is popular. You know what I mean? You got people that are popularized, but they don't just wake up in the morning and they're popular. Absolutely not. People are sharing their stuff. People are loving their stuff. People are, and they are a part of Black culture. That you cannot take away from them. No matter how toxic you may feel the music is, no matter how raunchy and unfulfilling you may find their lyrics, they are definitely a part of Black culture. Future is a part of Black culture. Cardi B is, I'm not going to argue the point whether she's Black or not. I don't want to have that argument again. But she is a part of Black culture. Meg The Stallion is a part of Black culture. But ask yourself, if you yearn for something more, then why aren't you out looking for it? Stop leaving it up to the gatekeepers to give it to you. Like, you can Google conscious Black music, and Killer Mike and his partner LP, Run the Jewels, put out dope albums. No one's listening to them. Like I said, no one's listening to Lupe Fiasco. No one's listening to Jean Grey. No one's listening to Rhapsody. No one's listening to the conscious music. Ish Butler, that used to be a member of Diggable Planets, who now has a group called Shabazz Palaces. Dope project. The music he's putting out right now, extremely dope. No one's listening to it. JPEG Mafia puts out the most revolutionary tracks that I've heard from a brother in a long time. No one's listening to JPEG Mafia. So we have to hold ourselves accountable. We're the ones that are responsible for making toxic music climb the charts. And like I said, this video was prompted by a post that I saw talking about hip hop. And I agreed to some extent about the music being absolutely horrible. I mean, people have, their own opinions about music. I don't care for it. But that's my opinion. And we also have to, there's another thing that we have to stop doing as well. We have to stop making these artists our children's role models. Like, I see it all the time. Oh, Cardi B is not a good role model. Oh, Meg Thee Stallion is not a good role model. Cardi B shouldn't be your child's role model. You should be your child's role model. Madam C.J. Walker should be your child's role model. Haile Selassie should be your child's role model. Marcus Garvey should be your child's role model. LeBron James should be your child's role model. I mean, you know what I mean? I could just name people, so many other people that should be your, like, for just as many Cardi B's, there's just as many Angela Bassett's. Or for just as many Futures, there's just as many Langston Hughes. So stop making these people responsible for raising your children. They're not your children's role models, and nor do they need to be. And I mean, Cardi B is no more of a role model than, Beyonce is. Beyonce, you know what I mean? She kind of lives her life on the up and up, but she shouldn't be your child's role model. They shouldn't have that responsibility. So don't leave it up to them. Oh, Cardi B shouldn't make this song because, like, little girls are impressionable. Guess what? Little girls have no business to listening to Cardi B. Like, my daughter, when Pink Friday, my daughter has been a Nicki Minaj fan since as far as I can remember. And when Pink Friday came out, my daughter was still, I want to say my daughter was, oh my goodness, to me, she was a baby. She was really young. And she really wanted Pink Friday. You know what I did? I bought her Pink Friday, the clean version. She had the edited version of Pink Friday. That's what she wanted to listen to. And I didn't take that away from her, but I gave her the edited version because my daughter shouldn't be listening to those explicit type lyrics, but she was still able to enjoy music from her favorite artist. So we just have to take some responsibility. You know what I mean? We have to take responsibility. Now, I'm not saying completely like take it away from your children. Make them understand, you know what I mean? Like if your daughter decides she wants to listen to City Girls, ask her why. Sit your daughter down and ask her, say, hey, why do you like the City Girls? And listen to her answers and listen to what she tells you. Say, hey, well, what is it about the City Girls you like? Well, what is it about the music you like? Well, what is it about the song? Some girls aren't old enough to tell you what they like about the City Girls other than, Carisha and JT happen to be extremely attractive. Carisha has a pretty baby and it's nice to dance to. I mean, these girls are very impressionable. They can't form enough thought to tell you like, oh, I like the lyrics because it empowers women. Like, no, a 15-year-old is not going to tell you that. So you have to take the responsibility on yourself to educate your children, and don't take it away from them. If your daughter wants to listen to Cardi B, let her listen to Cardi B, but ask her why she's listening to Cardi B. Find out why this music attracts your daughter, and depending on the answer is how you should act accordingly. Because if your daughter tells you, oh, I'm listening to this music because all my friends are listening to it, that's the wrong answer. You need to probe more. But, I mean, I'm not going to, talk you guys' ear off. Like I said, it was just kind of on my mind because I saw the post on another page on Instagram, and it was just talking about, Black artists not being a part of Black culture. And whether we want to admit it or not, they are a part of Black culture. They may not be what we consider a positive part of Black culture, but they're definitely a part of Black culture. So that was just on my mind. I just wanted to get that off my chest. And until next time, sippers, love you.
Tighten up when I come, tighten up when I come. Is what you not gon', is what you not gon', is what you not gon', is what you not gon'. Tighten up when I come, tighten up when I come.